you're getting ready, you're hopping in the shower, you're cleaning your ear out with a Q-tip, and you're thinking about your night. You're like, I have to play music for 4 hours straight.
People think it's so easy, but it's like, that's 30 songs an hour. That's 120 songs a shift. You have to play something that people want to hear while they're drinking. And now you have to do this 6-7 times a week, sometimes at the same venue.
Yeah.
And the same people are hearing it. And now they're looking at me like, why the fuck is he playing this fucking song again? He plays this every night. Well, motherfucker, I got to play 120 songs every night. And they have to all make people dance.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if you don't like it.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the humans.
I got a story for you.
All right,
I got a story for
time?
you. Do
we introduce the episode first or no?
Yeah, I mean, you know, everyone knows the Party with Strategy podcast, episode 96.
Strategy and Dolo.
The Strategy and Dolo show is back. We're back at it.
Well, this isn't really it, but it's coming back. It's coming back.
Is it?
Yeah, remember we talked about?
I mean,
100 episodes.
Yeah, we talked about it.
It's gonna go down.
This is 96. I have 97 recorded already.
We're closing in quickly.
And yeah.
So let's get to story time.
Closing in quickly. Well, I had David Lucas on the pod last week, right?
Okay.
Went well. Went incredibly well. Better than I could have ever imagined. Fantastic podcast.
Forgive me for not knowing offhand who David Lucas is. Refresh my memory.
You know who David Lucas is. You saw him and you were like, "Oh, did he roast you?"
Oh, the comedian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm bad with names.
So went great. I feel like, you know, I played all the cards well. You're trying to do a balancing game between like being hospitable, not being overly hospitable. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a celebrity of sorts.
Yeah.
Big guest for the pod. It was
I knew who he was when I first saw him. So yeah,
it was a move, right? And then the pod went well. He comes out to Bottle Blonde that night. Recorded on Friday. DJing it bottled. He comes out, get him a bottle. It's going well. Everything's great. Then he comes up to the DJ booth.
With a request?
Well, not yet. That did happen, but not yet. Comes up to the DJ booth, and I was like, yo, do you want to like get on the mic or anything? I handed him the mic. He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, how do you want to do it? Should I I'll reverb out the silence? You just want silence and you can get on the mic? And he was like, yeah. I was like, all right, what song you want me to play when you're done? He was like, ZZ. Kodak Black.
Yeah.
I look at my computer. Unfortunately, the only ZZ I have is an intro edit.
Okay.
And that's just not going to work.
You
know what I'm saying? You can't run from the top. You can't run 8 bars, 16 bars of just the fucking Little Mermaid xylophones. You know what I'm saying? Before the beat drops.
What time is it in the evening?
This is probably 11:30, 12. It's pretty lit.
Okay.
It's pretty lit. So I'm embarrassed at the fact that I don't have the right ZZ to play. I have to get on the internet, download it. Luckily, shouts to Headliner. They have a back catalog of music. They had ZZ, no intro edit. Download it. All right, got it. Recovered from that. Still a little bit embarrassed. You know, I'm like, I didn't have the right thing. I had to get on the internet. I was like, all right, hold on, give me a second. Made it happen. I reverb out. He gets on the mic and he's like talking some shit, this and that, and then like a silence hits. And I felt like it was time to run the track.
Yeah.
You know, he like said some shit, blah, 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 made a little joke. It was cool, whatever. And then I dropped the track. And right when I dropped the track, I could tell he didn't want me to at that moment. I felt like it was the right moment.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like he felt like it was the right moment. I was like, fuck.
Like, what did he want a better setup or like?
I just feel like he wanted more time on the mic. Like in the nightclub, silence is golden to a point.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Until it becomes annoying. And then it's like, yo, play some fucking music.
Right. On a stage that he's used to, a comedy club, you know what I'm saying? There's no music. It's all, you're just standing there with the microphone. So he probably didn't feel weird at all. I felt weird. I was like, all right, I think this guy's done. There's
'Cause
silence.
In the past, you were always the one telling me, yo, embrace the silence.
You do have to sit in the silence. And
Yeah.
and I sat in it for a second, and then he didn't say anything, and then we were still sitting in it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to run the track. I press play, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's two different worlds. Like,
Yeah.
to me, that was a long enough silence. To him, maybe he was just getting started. I don't know.
About to hit a line.
I don't know.
And you ran the Oscar music.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's
Let's
kinda
wrap it up, champ.
That's kind of what it felt like.
Oh.
It wasn't great.
They never look great at the guy who has to run the Oscar music.
It wasn't a good look. So there's
So did
that.
he come? Did he come to you and say something? Or
No,
it
he didn't
just-
say anything. He didn't.
Words
say
weren't
anything.
spoken, but you understood well and clear.
I mean, it's just how I felt.
Yeah.
Because it did from then on. It wasn't like he was like, "Oh, fuck this guy." You know what I mean? Like, there was a small feeling inside where I was like, I probably maybe shouldn't have pressed play all of a sudden. But whatever happens, we're good to go. Kicking it. He goes back to his table, partying. Comes back up maybe like 30 minutes later, and he's like, "Yo, let's get into some R&B."
Okay.
You know, the kid loves R&B.
Yeah. Right up your alley.
I'm not, I'm familiar with early 2000s R&B, the stuff that I grew up on, the stuff that I love.
He
Unfortunately,
hit you with some Zane or some early Mary J. Blige or something, huh?
unfortunately, I didn't grow up going to black barbecues.
Okay.
So when he requested Tevin Campbell,
Oh man, don't tell me you don't know Tevin Campbell. That is like one of produced by Babyface. Can we talk? Let me just tell you, that song is an all-time classic. When I was growing up, going to skating rinks, that was the one. That was the fucking jam. The chord progression of that song is fucking beauty. You don't have.
I missed
Tevin
that.
Campbell?
I missed that. And not only did I not know it, but that was like, all right, I don't know it. First of all, I couldn't even hear him. I thought he was saying Kevin. I don't even know what's a Tevin. I've never heard Tevin once in my life.
No, they get creative sometimes.
I thought he was saying Kevin, so I'm like searching for it, and I'm like, I don't think I have this. And he like types it into his phone for me, and I see Tevin Campbell. I'm like, okay, go back to my computer. Normally for like old shit that I don't know,
Sometimes you get it through a Jesse Seeley crate or something.
Jesse Seeley crate or the old bar mitzvah company I used to work for that gave me their library that has all the old shit.
I doubt Tevin Campbell's ever been played at a bar mitzvah, but I could be wrong.
So he wants Tevin Campbell. I don't have it. Even if I did have it, I could just tell by the name that it's like some 80s R&B shit,
Nah,
like some
90s,
fucking,
but still.
Yeah, it's got like it's older than I know. It's not something that I'm familiar with. It's peak hour in the middle of the nightclub. I'm like, if I had it, I don't even know if I'd play it. I don't even know if I have the balls to play it. I'm not like into some R&B shit at the moment. I wasn't ready to like completely interrupt the flow of the night.
What time of the night was this? Though?
This had to be like 12:30 or something.
Not really the R&B hour.
Not R&B,
But you've done it before and pulled it off when you believe in it.
when I know it and I believe in it and I have
You can feel the energy from the crowd is ready for that.
yeah.
And not in Houston, but that's another story.
Oh man, so he wants Tevin Campbell. I don't have it. Headliners,
Doesn't
their
have that.
their catalog goes back.
Not that
but it
far.
doesn't go that far back.
That's like you would need like Beat Junkies sound or something to
Yes.
pull that one.
So I'm shook off it because I don't even know it, and I don't even think if I had it, I was scared to play it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have it, man. I hit him with like the classic, like I don't have it, I can't play it. Like
And he looked at
obviously,
you like,
yeah.
what the fuck you mean you don't have it?
he was kind of like, damn, like he at that point he kind of looked at me like, damn, you're kind of a bitch.
You're not the guy I thought you were.
Yeah. Everything was crumbling, bro.
Yeah.
Everything around me was just crumbling. Everything I had built up to that moment. It was
And when it's someone that you kind of like look up to of sorts, you're just kind of like, that hurts even more.
it was all bad, bro. So literally then it was, I mean, whatever. It wasn't that big of a thing. For me, it was kind of a thing. But then just literally from that day, from that Friday until the next Friday that I was at work, it was haunting me.
Yeah.
Just intrusive.
Did you run Tevin Campbell in the car on the way home?
Bro, it just intrusive Tevin Campbell thoughts. Just
But did you
fucking,
listen to the song?
Yeah, and I
It's-
know
it's
it.
pretty
I
dope.
did, I did. Once I heard it, I was like,
okay, I
I do
know.
know this song. I don't know it by name, but I've heard this and I know it. So the whole week, bro, I'm stressed. I'm stressed out. Like, that's all I can think
Can't
about.
even jerk off. You're just thinking about Tevin Campbell.
I'm like, I fucked up. I mean, I told you, I was a little sick. I was like, I canceled the last pod because I was a little
Were you
sick.
not really sick? Were you
I
just
was
sick to your stomach, but not viral sick?
I was viral sick, but like, I think it was stress induced.
Oh.
Like literally, I was just like every fucking 30 minutes, it was like Tevin Campbell, just like whispering in my ear.
Talk. You're like, no, we can't talk,
Dude.
Not now, Tevin.
Killing me, bro, killing me. So by the time like Thursday night rolls around, I'm like, all right, I have no choice but to conquer my fear, but to literally drop Tevin Campbell.
Oh, you ran it at Bottled?
At peak hour. Bottle blonde peak hour.
You are a man who likes to face your fears, to overcome.
I had no
demons.
choice.
Okay.
It was haunting me. Literally, I think it made me sick. That's how stressed out I was. I didn't know this. I'm like, I'm supposed to be a DJ. I didn't know this song. Anyone I talked to knows the fucking song and would have fucking played it. I'm like, I'm a bitch.
It's okay.
I was like, I have to run this fucking Tevin Campbell song peak hour and put this demon to rest.
How did it go?
It went well.
I could see it going well. I've played it a few times at Vibe Thursdays, obviously.
Yeah.
It's right in the fucking bag for that. But even there, sometimes early in the night, I'm like, man, you really got to commit to that song. Because like when you drop it, people know it and they love it and they'll sing their heart out to it.
But they don't start singing till the hook.
Yeah.
From what I know.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I've heard that song probably a million times and I could barely recite the lyrics of the verse,
right,
outside of the chorus.
And it's got a long intro. It's got like an 8-bar little instrumental.
But that intro is kind of sexy. That dum 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 dum.
It is a good classic, no doubt. I fucked up for not knowing it.
Okay.
Now I know it, but it was haunting me, dog.
But you ran it peak hour and it worked well on Washington Street.
Yeah, I ran
That's
it
dope.
peak hour. Yeah.
That's a happy ending.
And I'm probably gonna drop it at Polecats tonight, just because I need to settle the score.
Yeah,
I need to put this whole thing.
I don't know
how
Mike's gonna feel about it. But
it's fine.
He's gonna be
fine. I mean,
if anybody can play it there, you can.
Yeah,
they trust you pretty much.
Mike has literally cut me off to put on the screens, the scene, the battle scene from 8 Mile with the audio going through the fucking speaker. Like,
that's got to be like a request
of
client, I'd imagine.
No, I played Shook Ones.
Oh, and he's like, no, I got to play this.
I played Shook Ones that like reminded him of it, and he's like, oh yeah, well, let's fucking put this on. And he put it on. I was like, I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but get me out of this.
You played
DJ
Shook Ones in the strip club?
Yeah, there was something happening where I felt like it was appropriate, and it worked.
Yo, that's dope. You're definitely thinking outside the box, and I appreciate it. But if I was getting a lap dance and I heard Shook Ones, I'd be like, what the fuck? I want my money back. Yeah. She's like, you were halfway crook. I'm like, no, I'm halfway hard now. Fucking Jesus.
Just boner killer.
Yeah, what the fuck? I just keep picturing fucking B-Rabbit.
Yeah. Well, that's apparently what Mike pictured too, because he completely cut me off and put on the scene.
Well, I think when you are in a strip club so long, you probably just feel like you're at home. And he was like, let's run it on the TV. Like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
They're not looking at the TVs anyways. They're looking at titties.
I respect it. He doesn't really give a fuck. I mean, sometimes he'll cut me off and drop some Arab shit because it's like Arab boys are in there. And I'm like,
if they're spending money. Well, Thursday night, we had some guy in there. He had just signed a deal, apparently, and they were spending a lot of money. So he let him get on the mic and do a song. And he got on stage with the strippers. And it was like an R&B. It was actually pretty dope.
It was decent?
It was dope. He did a little live show.
I mean, there's room for like an artist to potentially go to the club and weasel his way onto a microphone and perform a little bit. But it just gets a little squirrely when the regular clientele wants to get on the mic and pretend like they are some sort of artist. Some sort of creative person that has earned the spot to get on a microphone in front of a crowd of people and speak at them.
Yeah. Because I understand where you're coming from. And I had a feeling that this was going to come out on this episode. Because I don't think we need to name any names. But we could talk about... Because it whether it's this person or that person, the names and the faces change, but the laws and principles remain the same.
Yes.
People who spend money in bottle service clubs do it for a reason. There's a couple reasons, right?
There's a few reasons.
For one, they want to be seen. They want people to know, hey, I'm fucking winning at life right now, and I don't give a fuck about this money because I can spend it. Right? That's a who's got the biggest dick?
Fair assessment. Yeah.
And they also like to feel like they can do things that other people can't. I can go in the back. I can use the private restroom because I spent $10,000.
Right.
I can skip this line because I spend money in here every night.
You can pay your way into essentially anything in a nightclub.
Well, I mean, that's what it is, right?
There's really nothing that's off limits if you have enough money, I think.
That's what it is.
I've seen guys take like the entire bottle service staff into like a back room and do cocaine off their tits because they spend enough money.
For sure. It's an adult playground. It's an adult theme park, right? A kid, they spend money to go on a ride, and that's how they get their rush. And as an adult, you don't really give a fuck, and you might not want to wait in that line, just like a VIP. So they spend the money to get in there and get that rush.
Yeah.
And the more they spend, the bigger the rush is. Now, when you have enough money, I think they're trying. These people, they want to. They want people to know. That's why there's a sign that comes out with your name on it. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's fucking sparklers going off. That's why we play the fucking Super Mario theme to the fucking presentation of the bottle. Like, look at this motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
like
I also
we're putting on the dumbest song possible to get everybody's attention.
Yeah, to stop dancing and look.
It's not a song that you've heard before in the club where you're just letting it breeze by in the background while you're hitting on some girl.
Right.
It's an attention grabber.
100%.
You're looking around going, what the fuck is going on here?
And then as the DJ, you gotta be like, look. Over there.
Yeah, they're
It's
looking
like
at
me.
you.
It's not me.
Yeah,
Look, that guy.
You're like, set some fucking sparklers off or something. Because
something.
these people need to know that this is for them.
I did not have a fantasy to play the Nintendo 64 theme song. But in that same breath and sentence, I will say that I respect it. And I'll tell you why. Because if it wasn't for these people, we would still be in the background DJing at a fucking dive bar that doesn't pay real good money. Because for bottle service, and I'll tell you what, because there's no cover, okay? The bar only makes so much on sales. The real life source and bread and butter of a bottle service club is bottle service.
Yeah, but
if they weren't spending $10K on a table, the budgets are not the same.
My argument is that them spending all that money really has nothing to do with us.
No, I don't think that it's our.
I don't think there's a connection.
I don't think that they're like, oh, I'm going to spend this money because this DJ, I love it. Because they don't really give a fuck about the music.
No, you're saying we wouldn't have a job. We wouldn't be getting paid what we're getting paid.
No, I don't think so.
Our money that we're getting paid is not equivalent to the money that's coming into the nightclub.
No, but
whatsoever. Because if it was,
we'd
then
be real
listen,
rich.
I'll do whatever the fuck you want. I'll play every fucking song you want. You want this microphone? Here, I'll fucking you can hold the microphone as your cock and I'll talk into it. Like I don't give a fuck.
Well, okay, so
they're not giving. The club's getting money, right? And they're giving us a small little fucking cute tic tac. They're throwing us like we're fucking starving dogs in Africa that Sarah McLachlan's singing about, and they're giving us a little kibble.
Yeah.
We're not getting this money. Well, that's why I'm saying you want to fucking get on the microphone. That's some fucking real money. You better pay me. You better pay me. I don't care how many bottles you bought. Buy $1 million worth of bottles. Give me some fucking money if you want to get on my microphone.
I agree with that.
I earn the spot to fucking stand here and play music and talk into.
I agree with that 100%. And I don't, and when I'm saying that, I'm not talking about the people that want to sing on the mic. I'm talking more about just in general, rather than saying, oh, these guys are douchebags for spending all that money. I think that that's the life source of the club. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to play the request for free. But that's also to say that I don't think I would be able to get $100 for a request if I was DJing at a fucking dive bar.
I don't know. I DJ at some not so glamorous places and get $100
well,
tips.
Strip club is definitely a place where people like to spend money. That doesn't count.
But I mean, people that ecosystem of like being the guy, spending all the money, getting the job done through the dollar bill exists everywhere. Now it may exist on a bigger scale in a nightclub, but even in a bar, you have your local drug dealer that's got a couple bucks in his pocket that'll give you $100. Like everyone in an environment like that is there's always going to be that guy or those guys.
Yes,
It's
but
on a much larger scale.
if I'm
it's
thinking
more
of
glamorous.
back to the days before I was doing bottle service, when I was doing more like bars, like fucking.
But also the times were different. It was a different time. It was a different.
But it's not like it's been that long where inflation is that big of a deal.
Well, not even inflation, but just the whole, social media, Instagram. I want to be the man. I can look like the man. If I give this guy $100 and he plays my song, I can get on my story and I can rap along to it. That wasn't really a thing back then.
Well,
correct me if I'm wrong.
No. I mean, people. Well, no, they weren't videotaping the phone. The pixelated image wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And you had to upload it on the whatever. But not about that. I'm thinking more about just the principle of paying $100, right? Because I feel like if you went to, let's say I'm trying to think of like a non-bougie bar that has a DJ. Give me something.
Like a Chicago spot, like a Wicker Park spot,
There we go.
like
Okay.
a Rodan or a fucking.
Okay. Okay, yeah, Rodan. Let's say, starving artist hipster bar.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers ain't tipping. If you get a PBR out of them, and I can say from experience, that was a big tip. If they buy you a fucking shot of Jameson, this motherfucker's the baller.
Yeah.
You're not getting a $100 tip, let alone fucking $200 or 3 requests in one night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
that's something that has to come from someone who's leaving the house knowing they're going to spend several $1,000s.
I mean, Rodan might be on the low end of the spectrum. If Tao is on the top, Rodan's at the bottom. We need something like mid ground.
Okay, give me some.
We need like Trophy Room. Remember Trophy Room?
But Trophy Room's a bottle service club. Yeah,
spot?
people buy bottles there.
I mean, every spot's a bottle service spot now.
Now
They just turned, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, get a bottle at your fucking high top table. We'll send over our bartender with the big titties and a couple sparklers. Like,
yeah, I guess that's true.
It's all the same.
I think bottles. Yeah, well, we've talked about this before. Bottle service really just ruins everything. It ruins everything. I mean, but
it's money. It's the. I mean, how many times have you seen the people pop up that came into a large sum of money, and then they just
legally or illegally,
and they start blowing it in the nightclub, and they're a regular for 3 months, maybe 4 months tops, and then they're never to be seen or heard from again because they're either in jail from their illegal endeavors or they ran out of money from their legal endeavors and their cocaine habits.
Or they're dead.
I mean,
unfortunately,
or they're dead. Yeah, I mean, we've ran into all of
times.
this here.
It's honestly sad, but it's reality. But that's our job, and I'll tell you, like
that's not my job,
bro.
I won't
then you
take
shouldn't,
responsibility for that.
You shouldn't DJ in bottle services. If that's not your
DJ
job.
in bottle service, but I'm gonna be a different. When I'm getting paid accordingly, it might be my job.
But I'm saying, what is a bottle service club outside of bottle service? It's just a bar.
Well, I mean, there's
our job is to create and not just our job, but anybody who works in bottle service is to create an experience for these people, right? And we're not selling tickets to a show where it's like, yo, you're coming in just to see my artistry. You're creating this environment, and that incorporates the shows, that incorporates playing the same bullshit that they know and want to hear so they can sing along and make a TikTok or whatever.
Think about this. Why does if a security guard has to put a girl on his shoulders for the bottle service, for the show, why does he get tipped out? Because I have to play a song. I have to play a specific song for you, but I don't get tipped out.
That's a good point. And
tip me out.
That's
give me some money. I want more money if you want me to do more shit. If you want, like, my job, what I do best, I feel like, is create an environment for people wherever I'm at to make them spend more money.
Yeah.
Maybe they came there and they got $1,000 table and they bought 2 bottles of Casa Repo and they hit their $1,000 limit, but I'm making it such a good time in there that they want to spend $500, $1,000, $1,500 more. That's what I consider my job.
Yeah, I hear you. But I also think that, like, when you're crafty about it, you can make those tips by doing shout outs.
Sure. No, I'll make my own tips all day.
It's all about your own hustle, though. It's not
the club itself that's not giving me enough fucking money.
And when I
get
say
to call super shots like that.
Well, when I say it's our job, I don't say that like it's our job as a bottle service DJ to do this. I'm saying that, like, that's what we do. when you work in bottle service. You know what I'm saying? If you were working at a venue,
Sure,
that
that's
sells
what it is
tickets,
at the
it's
moment.
different.
But I'm trying to change it.
Okay,
That's what
respect
I'm
it.
saying.
What do you got?
I'm proposing that if you
I
want
like that.
if
I
you
like
want
that.
me to fucking do something, tip me out the same way that you tip out a fucking security guard that you want to do something.
I think that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's fair.
I mean, all day at the strip club, all I deal with is fucking dirty, scheming little strippers coming up trying to get me to play shit because they got the money from the guy, or the guy
And then they
told
try to
them,
pocket it?
and the guy told them, hey, if you get the DJ to play this song, I'll throw this money on you.
Yeah.
I want to hear this song to throw money.
Yeah.
So go get the DJ to play this song and I'll throw this money on you. And I'm like, that's cool, but give me my money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do they usually try and
Oh,
scheme?
what do you mean? That's all. That's the life they live.
Well, of course,
Strippers
they're
are
schemers. I'll agree with
That's
that.
That's it.
But I feel like
That's all they
a
do.
lot of them are pretty straight with me, at least. I don't know.
That's what you think.
Well,
Enough
I mean,
Casamigos, and you think they're all pretty straight with you.
no, I'm saying they're pretty straight up about like tipping me. I'm sure maybe the guy gives them 100 and they give me 20.
Right.
But I mean,
no,
at the end of the day,
no, but I want $100. You want a fucking song? I want $100.
well,
That's
and
it.
last night I did that. I had a security guard come up to me, and he was like, "Yo, this guy wants to hear this song. It's like a Spanish song, right? A new one. It's catchy, but it's kind of slow. And it's like Ludacris has just gone on. The fucking room is packed to the walls, and I'm like banging out music, but I'm like, you know, it's too early in the night for me to run the
Your own
slow
little
down.
Kevin Campbell experience.
Exactly. So it's Yandel 150, right? And I'm like, it's 140. I'm like, it's too early to start slowing things down for the end of the night. So I'm like, fuck it. I didn't even know that request actually at the time. Or no, I did. I go 200. You know, usually I go 100. I'm like 200, and I just because I just didn't want to deal with it.
Right. Yeah.
And then it
that's the
came back
best
with
case
$200.
scenario.
And I
Best case
said,
scenario.
you know what? It's a 2-minute song. Fuck it. If I look like an asshole, I'll look like an asshole for $200.
Yeah, I mean everyone.
And so
in
I
here,
ran it.
Everyone in here is doing things that they're probably not really supposed to be doing for
Yeah.
a couple extra bucks. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? This guy didn't really spend that much money to get access to the VIP bathroom, but he tips the security guard enough money. Security guard is going to walk him right back there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all how you got to create a way to make some extra money. And to be fair, if you're a good enough DJ and you can improvise, there's really no song you can't mix out of or make work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you know, if you calculate in your mind, you're like, all right, fuck, I gotta play this fucking whatever. This song, it's not really gonna work right now, but it's gonna lower the energy and give me the opportunity to go
Build
into
it up.
this song, which will fucking explode.
This song's at 98. It feels like a 40 because it's like no energy to the song, but it's
Yeah.
still a 98. So this song has a good intro and it's 96. To pitch it up a little bit and ride it out on the last part of the chorus, and boom, you're right back to your energy.
And that comes in handy when you are taking money for requests. And like your boy Kale Lucci, who we've had on the show actually last time he came in and wanted me to play his song, which is the last time that I'll ever do that. I knew in my mind, I'm like, this song is not great, right? This song, the drums are good enough to play it where people will bop along to it. It's like twerk-ish, 95 BPM. I'm like, I got to throw a flop in front of this song.
Oh,
I
so
can't
you
come
could
out of
feel-
Tyga. I can't come out of Tyga,
That's the
Hey
point.
Ladies, into his fucking song that's going to drain the room.
Yeah.
But I could throw City Girls Rodeo because like it works, but it's not going to make the club go crazy.
When you go consecutive banger, 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 then you drop. It's like, whoa, I feel that. But if you got kind of just give something good enough, then
Right.
it kind of complements it a little
Exactly.
bit. Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
You got to throw a flop in front.
I don't know where I saw it. I think I had this DVD back in the day. There used to be a mixtape awards by Justo, rest in peace, and it was like late 90s, early 2000s, and it was like all the Green Lanterns and everybody, and they're like, you know, interviewing them, and it was like a compilation of like their interviews and like giving advice to DJs and shit. And one of them said something about like, you know, a good DJ, each record complements the next record. And for some reason that always like stuck with me, and I really like based like my DJing off of that is like, you have to set yourself up. You have to think a couple songs ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just run. Some people do it and you can hear it when they're playing. You're like, this guy has no, you know, direction on which way he's going.
Right.
He's playing hits and it's whatever. It's working, but there's no cohesive flow because he's not thinking, all right, I need to run Bad Bunny, but like I need to run it like in 2 songs. You know what I'm saying? Because I can take the drums from this hip hop song that kind of fit into that swing of the reggaeton,
Yeah.
and then go into something that is like maybe a Moomba remix. So you're kind of like breaking your way into that genre, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I understand fully. You have to set yourself up. It's like a basketball play. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have someone going over here so you can pass it to them, and then they pass it to you, and then you have an open shot.
And your assist or
rather
whatever,
than
yeah.
rather than a defended shot that you're just lobbing up in the air.
I love how we talk like we know anything about basketball.
I mean, I know
You played a couple
enough.
pickup games, right?
I play
You
basketball.
used to play with the boys back in Chicago at what gym was that? At was that Lifetime?
I used to play
The one at Piper's Alley. Didn't you used to play
Export. Yeah, with Paulie and Riz and them.
Was
I
that
played a
Export
little bit.
Fitness? I don't know.
That was Piper's Alley Export, yeah. But I still, when I go back home, I play with Diddy on Tuesday nights.
Oh, no
Park
shit.
Ridge, baby.
Okay, there it is. Do you remember the time when you were working out at Export Fitness and I showed up with the two strippers?
Yeah,
Pulled the
shout out
tits
to my
out?
boy Bob.
Yo, Bob the trainer was
Carp
loving
was there
it.
too.
Was Carp there that night?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, I forgot all about that.
Yep, that was a good time.
Yeah.
He loved that. But speaking of basketball and DJing, I actually had a similar kind of thought to where, like, when you're DJing, I feel like every time you do something, every time you go for something, you try and do a transition or you try and cultivate energy, you're taking a shot, right? Like, and it's the same as basketball where you're taking all these shots, and there's no basketball player, even the greatest in the world, Michael Jordan. He's not 100%. He doesn't hit every fucking shot he takes. So you can't expect to hit every shot that you take when you're DJing. But to me, the hardest part is not letting the misses get to your head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You miss something. If you can just brush it off, move on, and hit your next shot, you're good. You're golden.
Yeah.
But when the previous miss gets to your head and you start thinking and you start
Then you play
missing,
safe, and then
you're
like
missing.
you never really take that shot.
Yeah.
And if you never take the shot, you never make a point. So
Yeah.
yeah, anybody could run the ball up and down the court. It's about making those shots. I feel that's my biggest Achilles heel these days is I don't unless it's like a night where like okay, this night is R&B, and even on those nights I still find myself playing safe. You know what? It's a mixture of a lot of things. It's a mixture of like, and I'm just being transparent here. Like sometimes the bottle service girls, if they're like, give me some like bullshit, like ugh, or like an ugly look when I play a song.
Yeah, you just want to.
I
want to beat them, and good thing you're in Houston because you can.
No, I don't want to beat them, but it like fucks with me, like, and like it'll fuck with me for like weeks. Like this is real shit. Like, and then I'll be like, I'll want to run that song, and I'll know that it'll work, but for some reason that one fucking, and not that I even give a fuck about this person or their opinion, but it just like it stings in your brain.
It sits with you, yeah.
And people don't realize that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there's real psychological shit that goes down as a DJ, and I think that's why. For me, a lot of times I turn to alcohol because it's like if I drink enough, I don't give a fuck what I'll just flip them off back and I'll get a bad review on Yelp. But whatever, fuck 'em.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I definitely feel that. And shouts to my our boy Heavy when he was here on Sunday. I checked him out at Bell for a minute, and there was some dude. I don't know exactly what happened beforehand, but when the dude came up to the DJ booth, Heavy like checked the fuck out of him. I didn't see the interactions before, but the dude came up to the booth and Heavy was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what's good?
Yeah.
Why the fuck you looking at me like that? Like, I'm up here doing my shit. And he was like, oh, it's all good, man. I just wanted you to play like some Detroit shit, this and that. Like, Heavy checked the fuck out of it.
Good.
And I was
I like
respect.
that. I seen Metro do that once. I remember at Hefe back in the day, and he literally got out of the DJ booth and walked up to this motherfucker, and I was like, "Fuck it, if we're gonna beat some ass, let's do it." You know what I'm saying? I was just checking him
Probably
out.
put your drink down.
So yeah, I came with him out there to the crowd, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" It was like thumbs down, or he did some shit like that.
Yeah.
And do like same thing, buckle up. No, I just saying da 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 da.
Right.
And
They're
it's
all-
like,
yeah.
yeah, maybe I need to start doing more of that. Problem is, I'm
100%.
not really good with the mediation thing. If I'm gonna fight somebody,
You're
I'm
like,
probably
I'm fighting. I don't
And then
care
I'm
if
gonna-
you apologize.
yeah, and then the problem is, then I get fired and I have no place to work. So
Yeah.
it's probably for the best. But I do, yeah. It needs. We need more of that because like I think honestly, like in their defense, they probably don't think that we.
They don't get it.
They don't.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't DJ. They don't understand.
They
like,
might
how
think
it
like,
feels.
oh, he sees me, but like he doesn't even think about it because there's so many people in here. You know what I'm saying? But the room's not that big. You know what I'm saying? You're not like, it's not like we're on a stage at a concert. And I'm sure that fucking artists have to deal with this shit all the time. And I'm sure that they have. I mean, there's humans too, right? Just
Yeah, but their checks are so big that it maybe drowns that out.
Yeah,
a little bit,
I could see that. I could see that. Or maybe it doesn't, and a lot of them turn to substance abuse. And
Yeah.
fuck suicide. I mean, artists are by nature, I think, more
emotional.
emotional, and they take their craft more personal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I was just DJing for no other reason than just because like somebody needed a DJ and I didn't give a fuck, like I probably could live with people not liking shit that I play. I'd be like, well, fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
But you spend so much time like invested in your craft, and then it's like, who the fuck are you to tell me that this isn't a good song?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your background? What are you, a music critic? Like, are you someone who has some sort of background in this that I should be listening to? Or are you just some dumb fucking 21-year-old bottle service slut who, sorry, I need to calm
Don't
down.
apologize.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But anyhow, yeah, so it's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely tough. And you're reading part of the job is reading the crowd. So you're playing a song that maybe you think or know goes off every time, and then you have like this fucking shitty review from some asshole in the front that's like, turn it down or whatever, and you're like that kind of fucks you up. That's like, well, I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I knew that this song was good. Why the fuck? You know what I mean? Like that shit throws you off a little bit.
Another one that pisses me off is when they're like, "Can you play something like good? I need to shake my ass." And it's like, my new thing is this, and this is what I always do. I'll say, "What would you like me to play?" And they can never fucking answer.
Right.
It's never anything. They're just like, what do you got? Show me your computer. I'm like, no, I have a lot of things. What do you want to hear?
Right.
They can never tell you that.
No, never, not once.
But yet, for me to be up here for 4 hours playing a new song every minute, and then you don't like one of them, I'm a piece of shit.
It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. There was a night at Polecats, actually, at like 4 or whatever, whenever you're done, I'll go over and throw a song on Spotify. So it was that time I was ready to switch out, and there's a couple girls in the booth, and I was like, all right, what song should I put on? And I had maybe like a minute 30 left on the song running on my computer. And they were like, I don't know. It was 2 girls. Like, I don't know. I was like, well, just whatever. Any song, anything you want to hear right now. Like anything. And they were like, I don't know. They were like freaked out a little
the
bit.
pressure. Yeah.
And I saw them getting pressure. So I put more pressure on them. I was like, come on, like, give me a song.
We got 30
give me a
seconds.
song. I got only a couple seconds. And they were freaking out. And I was like, that's what being a DJ is like.
Straight up.
And they were like, ooh.
Well, I mean, I think more people need to realize that before you come shitting on a DJ about, oh, they played this song last week. It's like, what the fuck am I going to do? 4 hours, right? Sometimes longer.
Sometimes it feels like such a beforehand, like you're getting ready, you're hopping in the shower, you're cleaning your ear out with a Q-tip, and you're thinking about your night. You're like, I have to play music for 4 hours straight. Like,
And people
what
think
am I?
it's so
How am I even going to do that?
People think it's so easy, but it's like, if you do the math, right? 60 minutes an hour. You're not playing a full-length song.
No.
No one does, right? So at best, you're playing a minute 50. We'll say 2 minutes just for easy numbers.
Yeah.
That's 30 songs an hour. That's 120 songs a shift.
Yeah.
120 songs. And you can't play the same song twice.
And you don't want anybody to fucking look at you with a thumbs down from one of your songs.
So you can't just play anything you want to play because you feel like listening to fucking whatever. You have to play something that people want to hear while they're drinking. And now you have to do this 6-7 times a week. Sometimes at the same venue.
Yeah.
And the same people are hearing it. And now they're looking at me like, why the fuck is he playing this fucking song again? He plays this every night. Well, motherfucker, I got to play 120 songs every night. And they have to all make people dance.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if you don't like it. But you're paid to be here. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it gets a little nerve-wracking sometimes. It gets a little, the blood starts to boil.
Yeah.
But how about this? How about when you get paid, when you force someone to give you $100 for a request, especially like a song where you're like, oh, I don't want to play that,
And
like,
then it hits?
and then it just fucking goes.
Those are
off.
the best. But then I feel like even more of a bitch because I'm like, damn, maybe I don't know what these people
Dude, 100% happened on Friday night. Someone wanted to hear Wild Ones, Flow Rider, Wild Ones. Haven't played that since a fucking Wisconsin game at Stout, in between commercials.
Right.
And I was like, oh God, I have to play Wild Ones right now.
I'm gonna look like such an asshole up
The
there.
entire club went fucking nuts. Black people, Spanish people, white people, everybody. Didn't fucking matter. Everybody went nuts, dude. I was like, I'm done. I almost just closed my laptop and
It
went
makes
home.
you be like, damn, am I that burnt out that I just am out of touch? Because it's and it goes back to something we've talked about several times, is like the recirculation of, you know, pop records to us still thinking that it's corny, but them being like connecting with it from fucking 6th grade, and
Yeah.
we're like, I was DJing at that time, you know. So a lot of times I will listen to requests, you know what I'm saying, and I'll say fuck it, because sometimes it's just an energy that you don't catch, but it's in the room that makes them think of that song. Because you got to think, you know, what's the psyche behind it? Maybe it is that they heard it in a grocery store and it's in their mind, they want to hear it now. But a lot of times it's just like they feel it, and so, you know, trust them sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's not always. Sometimes it fucking flops.
I'm still taking my $100.
Yeah.
I'm set. I'm dead set in that. Like,
Well,
there's
yeah,
too
at this
much money
point-
going around in the fucking nightclub
Yeah.
for you to be a bitch about giving me $100. Like, someone we know wanted me to play a song. Comes into the club a lot, and he wanted to give me $50 for it, and I was like, nah, bro, it's $100. Like, you're in here spending money. All your whole persona is, I got money.
Yeah.
That's you got chains, you got the shoes, you got everything, you got the bitches, you got the table. That's your whole fucking persona, and you want me to play your song, and you want to Jew me down. I could say that I'm Jewish.
Yeah, you can say that.
50%. I'm like, no, give me $100. He's like, all right, let me get 2 for 1 then. I said, no, it's $100.
He's wheeling and dealing. And that's what I always tell them when they like act weird about a request, like tipping me, like in general. Like I sometimes I'll let them go for $50. Depends how busy it is. But anyhow, I'll be like, do you do the same thing when you go up to the bar? Do you do the same thing to the fucking bottle service?
Right.
Bro? Like, what the fuck are you doing it to me for?
Right.
You know, I'm not your indulgent servant. What do they call it?
Indented servant.
Indented servant. Fucking sound like a
Indented,
retard.
yeah.
I just spat it out there.
Indentured servant.
And yeah, that thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm,
Slave.
I'm an artist.
It's another word for a slave.
Is that what that is?
You could say slave.
Ugh, okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and say I'm an artist. Yeah. So let's get that to be back to the norm. Maybe I should get something like the saxophonist has, a nice little glowing tip sign.
Oh my God, that guy got hammered last night, bro.
Did he? No.
Hammered.
He drinks?
So at 2:00 hits, Mike tells him to pack up, and he, you know, I mean, this guy literally cannot read a social situation for the life of him, and I respect it so much. Like, that, I feel like, is what makes him so fucking good at the saxophone, because he's good.
He just locks in.
Really good.
Yeah.
He locks in because he doesn't have the brain that can calculate what's happening around him socially.
Yeah.
So it's not a distraction. It doesn't matter. He can't read a room. He's just playing. And I want that.
Yeah.
I want, like, is there a pill to give me autism?
Yo,
Can I
chill.
take a pill and become autistic?
I don't know that exists, but
Well, I'm looking for it.
Well, now that they have this new thing called what is it? They identify as. Have you heard about this? Where people identify as handicap?
No.
Like, this girl made herself blind. You haven't heard about this? This is great. So there's a new I don't know, trans community thing where they
Lumped in. It's another letter on the train of letters that is.
yeah, they identify as handicap. So they think that they were they were supposed to be born blind.
Well, I think that I was supposed to be born autistic,
Well,
or maybe a little more than I am.
nah.
Whatever, maybe.
I think, and I was actually talking about this with my girlfriend the other day. It's like, I think we're all a little bit autistic, and I'd say
I agree.
only because the spectrum is so broad. So I'm guilty of, you know, being ignorant to what autism really is. Right? I always thought it was just like on the people that can't even function,
Like
through
super
autism.
harsh.
Yeah. Because I had a cousin who was autistic that like couldn't even speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I thought autism was. That and like Rain Man. I was like, okay, so then the ones that can't speak, just kind of like mumble stuff and just like no Jeopardy questions. But the reality is, I might be part autistic, but like way functioning. And the only reason I think this is because like she talked about, she was like, because she did medical, like she was a med student and she did like papers on it. She's like, one of the signs is like, it's very difficult in social situations for them to like make eye contact. And I find that a lot of times when I'm uncomfortable with someone I don't know, like I'll look them in the face if like I have to, like to like prove like, oh, we're doing a cheers. Like I'll make eye contact to show like I respect, right?
Right.
But like just talking to people that I don't really know like that, like I don't know, for some reason I get like tense and then I don't make eye contact. And honestly, I thought about it with DJing. A lot of times like people come up to the booth and like rather than have a conversation with them, I just like lock into my DJ shit, like almost as like I don't know. Does that mean
it's like a default, like
like
something
like,
to do, like get
and I think that's what they say autism. That's why people are autistic have difficulty communicating because they don't have that like connection.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that that's a completely human thing. Even people that I know and am comfortable with, sometimes eye contact makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's one of the most wild things to me that I think about sometimes is like eye contact with a girl or like someone you love or a family member or something can be so strong and like powerful. But then also eye contact with someone you don't know or someone you're not comfortable with can make you the most uncomfortable feeling you've ever felt in your entire life.
Straight up.
It's one or the other. And I think it's dependent upon what's happening with you at the current moment.
Well, the eyes are the windows to the soul. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So maybe, if you're just, there's way more to it than we could ever fucking understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting take on it. So shout out to all the autistic people.
I think we all have our own weird things that maybe you could call autism. I don't know.
Well, I think that's also the reason why autistic people that are like in that realm of the spectrum that are like severe enough that they have to like overly compensate by like indulging their brain into one specific thing, right? That's why they like a savant type, know. Then that would also make sense too. Why I'm fucking so obsessed with the things that I am. Like, there's like two. I'm no fucking rocket scientist, but there's like 2 or 3 topics that I'm pretty fucking
extremely knowledgeable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe that, I don't know, or maybe that's how everybody is, and they're just calling it autism.
I think that that's how everybody is, and then I think that there's then functioning people in society that are affected a little bit more, like our saxophone friend.
Maybe, but also, is everyone like that? Because if everyone was like that, and it was true that everyone just had 2 things that they were like perfectionists about, I think that you would see more people like really shine out, and like there'd be a fucking, I don't know, a gas station clerk that just was crushing it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that there are a lot of like people that are just mediocre in life and like content with that. I don't know.
I see the.
I think that you think it's normal because I think you might be a little autistic too.
I believe so.
And
I mean, there's no doubt about the fact that I'm legitimately insane.
You're a little obsessive compulsive like me. When I come in and there's fucking 3 podcasts going at once, it makes sense to me in a weird way,
Yeah, it's an obsession, but also like what? There's more to it than that. There's like, I almost feel like I lean the opposite way. Like, I'm talking about how this guy can't read a room. I feel like I can overly read a room.
And that could be a downfall.
Right.
Because then and that's why drinking helps so much with DJing, is because you sometimes have to dumb it down a little bit.
Yes.
Because when you're overthinking, you're like, okay, we got 22% Indian, there's 84% black. I don't know, my math's probably off.
No, are we doing Houston? Because that's right. That's about right.
Probably right. 3% white.
Right.
And then you're like, am I gonna play music for the white person? No, because that's just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But then
why would I ever play Wild Ones? Why would I ever play that in a room full of fucking black people that want to hear Pooh Shiesty?
And then you come to find out that they want to hear Wild Ones. I saw, shout out to DJ Go High C. He was playing like I left during his set and then I came back like mid set, and I don't know how he set up into it, but he had Bell Station, a very urban room, going insane for like the most cheesiest pop, like Black Eyed Peas and shit, and I was just like, I was fucking dumbfounded. But I think that maybe for them it's like the same way that like white people love like hood shit because they hear fucking pop shit all the time. Probably it's fun for them to like listen to like hood shit because it's different, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same thing for the urban crowd. Maybe they're tired of fucking listening to Pooh Shiesty and they want to hear fucking Wild Ones.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing is both the songs that we just named are made by black artists.
Yeah, but is Flo Rida really black? I mean, shout out to Flo Rida. He's just he saw an opportunity and or maybe he just really believes in his music. I don't know. Maybe he saw Pitbull and was like, "Yo, Pitbull, that's what I want to do."
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is. When that song went off, like I played that song with such fear in my heart.
You're like shaking. You're like,
went off, dude.
6 play.
I did set it up with, I was literally at the time I was playing "Make It Rain" by Travis Porter.
Well, it's halftime.
It's halftime.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can't go from "Make It Rain" to "Wild Ones" because I can't make that work with the songs that I have. I don't have intro versions of either of them. Maybe I can make it work with that. But
are you running the new Serato DJ where you can drop out everything?
No, and even if I was, I couldn't, like, on the fly right now thinking about it, I don't know how I would really make that work to where it was digestible and a good transition into Wild Ones to make it hit. So I ran Rihanna, "We Found Love in a
Okay.
Hopeless Place."
Why? Because it has that
song
drop
always
out
goes
to
off.
build up?
It's got to drop off. That song always goes off. The bitches love it. If the bitches love it, it doesn't matter. Nobody else in the club matters. If the girls are enjoying it.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
Not to get off subject.
No, go ahead.
Because we'll circle back. But that is such a fucking important part. And I am very guilty of not thinking about that a lot of times. But I remember Sean Mack, that was like his thing. Like, make the girls dance, right? Remember, that was like his motto.
That was his motto. But even before Sean Mack, and my history may be off here because I'm younger and I'm not 100% sure, but when I started getting into DJing and listening, and I was listening to the radio a lot, V-Dub.
Yeah.
Remember V-Dub?
Violet off V-Dub.
That was his whole thing. He was like, fuck every dude in the club. I don't give a fuck about a single one of you. I'm focused 100% on the girls. If they're dancing, you have no choice but to enjoy yourself and try and get
and
with
it's
them.
so fucking true.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to V-Dub.
You remember that?
Violator All-Star DJ. My siren, which is now everyone's fucking siren.
Yeah.
One of the first people I heard playing it was V-Dub back in the day. The almost like the J Dilla siren.
Yeah.
Now I can't not hear that anywhere. Fucking, but until we get a better siren, that's what we got. But yeah, V-Dub was, and it took me a long time to find it, and I found it, and whatever.
He was the man.
But he was the shit because he would play some shit.
Yeah,
he would play like
he went in
some R&B record that like you thought no one else fucking knew, but like he'd run it and you'd be like, fuck yeah, why I need to play this. You know,
he was like a big like hood dude.
He used to have a Caprice, a bubble Caprice on like 24s and had it V-Dub on the side of it, and whenever I would see it like rolling through, I'd be like, oh, it's V-Dub. It was white with like regular. I can picture it right now. Yeah, back like early 2000s. Yo, V-Dub.
It's funny that we're talking about the radio too, because I was in the gym listening to music, and J Electronica Exhibit C came on.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about, right? Sure. When that dropped in 2010, and Timbuktu was on the radio, he was doing the Rush Hour mix at 5, and he would just cut that song up, like on some New York shit, like bring it back, cut it up, bring it back, drop it, bombs, sirens, like going hard as fuck. I'll never, ever, ever forget that. That was the best shit ever. Like every other DJ was just playing Carrie Hilson. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the hits were at the time, he was on there chopping up J Electronica Exhibit C.
Hell yeah.
Mad inspiring. Rest in peace, Timbuktu.
Absolutely. Yeah. What was his, what was the Timbuktu hour called? Didn't they have a name?
Well,
for
he
it?
had Timbuk Tuesdays.
Timbuktu. That was a party, but like on the radio, I thought
He had his own show. He had Go Ill Radio,
That's what it
which like
was.
highlighted
and then he was
Chicago
like
artists.
underground artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was
Yeah.
dope as fuck. Yeah, shout out Timbuktu, R.I.P.
And I remember him getting, it was like Guru's, the anniversary of his death, or it was his birthday or something. And he was like, yo, I'll get fired for this. I don't give a fuck. I think he tweeted this. He was like, I'm playing all Gangstar shit for the whole Rush Hour mix.
Remember
like, I don't
when
care
Twitter
what my
was the
manager
shit
say.
like that, where you would like see that, and that whether or not, I mean, it probably was true, but like that's such good promo too, because you're like, fuck yeah, he's gonna play Gangstar and he doesn't give a fuck. Well, I love Gangstar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock in. Because I remember Boo Master had a similar situation with breaking the Step in the Name of Love thing, the Step in the, which became a huge record. But when it first came out, Step music wasn't really like that. It was like, you know, like maybe you'd hear like an old black barbecue or something. But like,
Tevin Campbell.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not Stepper, but yeah, you're in the wheelhouse. And I remember him saying that like they wanted to fire him over playing that on the radio, but like it ended up just like catapulting that movement,
right?
You know, but sometimes those are the risks you got to take. But yeah, back real quick because I know we're running out of time and I got to go DJ soon. Making the girls dance should be the only thing, and that our ego, you know, as men, right?
Mm-hmm.
This music we're playing represents us. Fuck that. Make the girls dance. If the girls are having fun, the rest of the room will follow, and nobody's not gonna pop a bottle because all the bitches are dancing.
Right.
Guarantee you that.
Nobody's gonna be mad that you're not playing 42 Doug.
Yeah.
And all the girls are enjoying themselves, and you're just sad in the corner because you can't hear.
Yeah.
Lil Baby,
Maybach, or whatever the fuck, you know, because none of those records have energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they have energy when everyone sings along to them, but at the end of the day, nobody's coming out to fucking feel good by listening to 42 Doug.
No.
You know, that's just a reality. So remember that, DJs. Make the girls dance.
Make the girls dance. Shout to V-Dub. Shout to Sean Mack. R.I.P. Timbuktu.
Yes, sir.
Chicago legends, bro.
Man,
Chicago.
I'm so homesick, bro. When I texted you the other day, I meant that, man, about Griddle and shit. You LOL'd me out, but I was like, dog, I was having a moment. Did
you go to Cats or no?
No, I didn't go. Fuck the Cats compared to Griddle, dog. It's not even the same fucking wheel. What?
Yeah, it's not. And Griddle's not about the food.
You're never gonna be at Cats and just see somebody randomly walking from a venue to be like, "Yo, come kick it. Let's talk about it." Yeah, there are people. You'll see people there, but like, it's just not the same here. Everything's a destination. Nothing is organic.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but honestly, to be completely honest with you, I don't even think Griddle is Griddle anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a oh, you mean the way it is?
It like the last time I tried to go to Griddle, security wouldn't let me in. They were too full. Like they don't.
Were you like, Brenda?
I was like,
I don't know you, dog.
Yeah, like it was just not the same place. And I get it. Like I'm sure there's been so many fights there. I mean, I was in Chicago.
Didn't a car run into it?
Yeah,
when you were there?
I was across the street, and a car fucking literally ran through the entire building.
Oh,
like it's just not the same place.
Yeah.
That's the shittiest part about the whole thing is I wish that we could go back there and have that same exact experience right now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even exist.
You never even know that like those are those moments like when you're living them. You're just like, this is just life, you know?
Yeah.
And then things happen and change and you go, fuck, man, that was that era.
Yeah.
But I mean, and again, I don't go back as often as you, but when I do go back, I still have, you know, memories, and I still, even if the names of the buildings change, I mean, the same. There is still that Chicago feeling. Like when we went to Fremont, it was different, but it still felt like Chicago.
Yeah,
it still felt like good in there. You know, like there's an energy in the city, and I never could explain it. You know, when I first moved there in 2003, I remember feeling like coming from Indiana and being like, yo, there's like a literal energy I feel when I'm in this city. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but like I don't know if it's the way everything's lit or I mean when I say lit, like electronically, you know what I'm saying? Coming from an area where there's a lot of places, there's very few street lights and stuff like that, to come into a place where everything has power and is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
everything's condensed, and I think it's energy of people. You know, when you get people and you put them in such a tight quarters, the energy like builds on itself. But I don't know. I'm not a fucking witch doctor.
Yeah, no. I mean, you sound like my ex-girlfriend, and I like it.
Don't get a fucking boner looking at me. All right? Relax. But yeah, I miss that, man, because it doesn't exist here.
It does not exist here. But you know what does exist here?
What's that?
Easy money.
Yes. The money is easier
money.
to get than Chicago for sure.
The money is easy to get, and I think that partly comes because we are from Chicago, and it feels way easier here. And I think that the cost of living is lower here.
Yeah.
So it's easy money and it's less money going out. More money coming in,
math
less
adds
money
up.
going out.
Or it's simple math. More money in, less money out.
Yeah. So I'm
Shout
not
out
mad
to
at
Nipsey.
that. But I do definitely miss Chicago. I'm going back home June 15th.
I'm planning on going back for 4th of July.
Okay. 4th of July, just to see the fam and everything?
We'll see the fan. I mean, I haven't really looked into booking. I probably could maybe, but I'll probably just go out Sunday night. I mean, here's the thing. I would like to DJ Chicago. I guess I just never because I don't go out as much as you, I don't even fucking know who's working where to even reach out, Yeah. If anybody's watching this back in Chicago, you want to book me in July, holler at your boy.
It's scarce, it feels like, to me at least.
Well, I mean, it's also I still get some of the pop-ups from some of the homies that out there of like the names, and it'll be like somebody and friends, and it'll be like 5 names on a flyer. I'm like, I don't even know who any of these motherfuckers are.
Yeah.
And in their mind, they're running the city, and they might be,
Nah, even when I talk to Heavy, who still lives there and DJs out there every week, he's like, I don't know any of these new kids. He's like, I don't know any of them. I see their names. I don't know them. I don't recognize them. They don't politic with any of the other DJs. It's just like, it's a different world. I mean, it's the same here. I don't know a single young DJ here.
Yeah.
There's a couple that I've met more recently, but it's not like when we were young and going out and trying to get gigs and like
you wanted to build relationships when you met. Yeah. So it's like I don't know that I need you for anything, but we're all in this shit together. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? And I remember the thing was we were always like, yo, there's enough for us all to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no reason to like, fuck this guy or fuck that guy. It was love. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't to say we gave anyone free gigs. You know what I'm saying? Or gave anyone necessarily free opportunities just off of the strength of I love you. But it was like, yo, like you're out here hustling to eat and we're out here hustling to eat. And like, if you play the same venue as me, that doesn't fucking matter because there's 15 venues and I'm probably only going to play there for a couple hours before I go to the next venue. And we might be just passing each other going to the same venues, but it doesn't matter because there's enough food for us all to eat.
100%. And
here, and not to interrupt you, here I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like there's not as much of a communal thing because everybody kind of like holds on to their shit. Like I'm getting money here, you get money over there, that's fine, but like we don't need to like cross paths
because there's not really one area that you're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, you want to DJ in River North. That is the goal. You want to be the guy in River North.
Yeah.
So, I was DJing in Lincoln Park at a live one before. You were DJing in Boys Town before and probably somewhere else before that. And made it to Boys Town.
Lincoln Park, then Boys Town.
And then
it's all you're working your way. I mean, I started at the Hookah Lounge in fucking Addison, then to fucking get to Lincoln Park, then to get to fucking Boys Town. But it was always to get downtown.
Exactly. There isn't that here.
Yeah.
There's no like Washington Ave's cool, but nobody's like, it's not the spot.
Right.
You're not like,
because it could be the Heights.
Exactly.
Or it could be Midtown. You know what I'm saying? Like, or wherever the fuck else there's spots. But it's not. Yeah, you're right. There was like a centralized there was some because those were the spots where you could play it underground and bump shoulders with Dave Chappelle or something. You know what I'm saying? So like you wanted to be the next fucking AM, so to speak, to be that guy. And Rock City was at the time when I was.
Yo, we need Rock back here.
We need him back.
First of all, need to do another pod because that was incredible.
Yeah,
and then we just need to bring him back here and hang out with him.
Absolutely. Let's work on getting. Let's wait till the
maybe
shift
we should
of powers.
have him for the 100th episode.
That would be dope as fuck. That'd be real dope. That'd be real dope.
Ebony and Ivory reunion.
Yo, we should. Next time we're all in Chicago together, we gotta do an episode together in Chicago.
Yes, that'd
and
be
just
incredible.
bring like the squad, like the whole. That's you know what, that's what we should do when we do the strategy and Dolo shit again. We need to figure out a way to incorporate the whole you know, that when they used to talk about New York, there was a thing called the downtown like 500 or downtown 200 or whatever, and that was like in the disco days. Like there was like 200 people in Manhattan that like ran the shit. Like the artist, what's his name, Basquiat, and all those like famous people now. Like that was like their circle, right?
Yeah.
None of us are necessarily Basquiat famous, but there was a definite 100 people that were like that was like the circle, right? And we need to reach out to as many of those people that are still out there and get them all together somehow for something.
I would love that. We should do it for Eddie Mills is what we should do it for.
Absolutely.
Because he needs a real party. He needs a legit celebration of his life, because that fucking sponsored LED backwall bullshit that we went to
that was unfortunate.
can suck my nuts. I was literally thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, I was thinking about
We need
Eddie
to
the other day, too.
celebrate that man's life for real, like he deserves to be celebrated.
For sure. Well, that was a good moment. I mean, during Navik,
Monetarily, it was good.
but the fact that there was so much money behind it, and you felt like you're like, you motherfuckers don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe initially it was done with the right intent because they were trying to fundraise money for his school and stuff like that.
Yes.
But anytime you try and fundraise, like, oh, what do I get out of it?
Right.
None of that. None of those fundraisers.
Put my
were like,
name on the wall.
Yeah, none
My
of those
name
fundraisers
needs to
were like,
be-
hey, we're doing this because we loved Eddie as well.
Right.
It was like, all right, we'll promote us on there and we'll give you some money.
Right. We'll
So I
donate,
think-
but
I
put our
think-
name somewhere.
I think whoever organized that had good intentions for Eddie, but
Yeah, I don't.
we
think
need to
there
do
was-
it without money. We need to do it just truly to celebrate Eddie.
Yes, 100%. That
We'll
would
make
be
it happen.
incredible.
It could all be encompassed. You know,
I would love to do that.
we'll talk about this more.
Yeah.
But I got to get going, get to work. It's
Yeah.
a great episode.
This is fantastic. Every
Talked
time.
a lot of music stuff. We don't always get into DJ stuff. Sometimes we get into political shit. Just felt good. I
Well,
needed this.
we did have a small, a trans handicap moment, but
Yeah, well, everybody needs to know the latest. It is Pride Month. So.
yeah, it's Pride Month. All right, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, drop a comment if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, check back for all previous episodes. We got 5 of them. This is 6. We got 95 of them before this. And if you're really feeling squirrely, you can go to the Strategy and Dolo Show Facebook page and watch thousands of hours worth of ridiculous content.
Because it's funny. I was talking to Cosmo the other day because he was asking about like, you guys really did that shots for shares thing? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it still exists on the internet. You
Yeah.
just got to go to the fucking Facebook page. I know going to Facebook is like going to MySpace nowadays, but
Yeah.
like it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And the content is good. It's worth watching for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
peace.
Peace. What song ends with that? Peace. Who does that?